Korean kimchi stew, or kimchi jjigae, is probably the easiest tasty thing that you could ever make. Even if you just threw all the ingredients into a pot, boil it for 15 minutes, it'll turn out amazing. Today, we're gonna do it my way by adding a bit of depth of flavors to the pork and to the kimchi by sautéing them. Let's do it. So, relatively high heat. We're doing this with pork belly, but you could easily do it with just kimchi and tofu and the gochujang. Incredible. You could do no wrong, basically. Vegetable oil. We'll skim out the fat afterwards, so don't worry about too much oil. And belly goes in. You can use pork shoulder as well. I like them slightly chunky, just because you want to factor in the shrinkage. Normally I say form one layer and do them in batches, but because of the high fat content, I'm not even gonna bother. A bit of salt to help them release some moisture. Years ago when I made this for the first time, I don't know why, I cooked the pork belly sous vide, I made overnight dashi, I don't know who I was trying to impress. It was great, but it took away the beauty of this dish, which is the simplicity of the cooking process. It's something you could cook from start to finish in 20 minutes. So keep it simple. At least that was the lesson for me. Another benefit of this method is that you could skim off the fat that's rendered from the belly before adding the other ingredients. So you don't have to go through the tedious job of trying to skim off the fat with a spoon at the end of cooking. Now, as you can hear, the moisture has evaporated mostly, and now the meat is starting to singe, starting to brown. Maillard reaction, protein reacting to high heat, making meat taste meatier. That's what we're trying to do here. We're building flavors. Now, before the kimchi, as promised, we're gonna skim off the excess fat. Now, we add the kimchi to brown. We're gonna do the kimchi in 2 stages. We're gonna squeeze out all the liquid, all the kimchi brine, and save that for later to add the brightness back to the dish. But now, we squeeze and kimchi goes in. And the liquid from the kimchi will deglaze the pan and bring us even more complexity from the burnt bits at the bottom. F***ing hell, man. What a stove. Every time. I need to stop doing this. Now, we toast the kimchi. Cooked kimchi has a different flavor profile. It has deeper flavors and it's a bit more complex. It loses the brightness on the other hand. So that's why we're saving the kimchi brine for much later. So they retain their freshness and brightness and acidity. Now, optional and slightly controversial, we're gonna add some salted anchovy puree that you could buy from most Italian shops. This is basically nature's MSG, but because we want to keep it simple, there's no point making a dashi from the side. So this is equivalent to the Korean dashi made from dry sardines. So this goes in, optional, for the umami. Cook it out. It will not taste fishy, I promise you that. And now, we add the gochujang, the Korean fermented spicy bean paste. I try to not write to taste when I write the recipes, but this is really to taste, depending on how spicy you want it to be. And again, we cook it out to evaporate some of the water content, to concentrate the flavors. Gochugaru, Korean chili powder. You can use shichimi to garashi, you can use any chili flakes, or you could skip it. That goes in. Now we add the water before the onion, because I don't want the harshness and the raw onion flavors to evaporate. Just enough to cover. Now, the onion. Quite thin. I'm using half just because this is ginormous. Normally you add a full onion. Onion goes in. You bring it back to a boil. Once it boils, lid back on. And you simmer at medium heat for 10-15 minutes. I'll see you then. After 10 minutes, we check on our stew. Beautiful. Beautiful. Mix in the onions. Probably should have done it earlier. Wonderful consistency. Now, as promised, we taste and we adjust the brightness with the kimchi brine. Oh, it's incredible. Sauté kimchi is just so complex. It's a marvelous thing. So we add and we taste until you find the perfect balance. Start with that. And this also, of course, changes the hue, just like Photoshop. As you can see, because we skimmed off most of the fat, there's not much fat floating to the top. To finish, we add a bit of silken tofu. You can just break them apart, give it a mix. Tofu by definition is cooked, so let's plate one. Taking a page out of Korean restaurants, you definitely don't have to do this. Hot container. I think they should be stone containers, but this is cast iron. Will do the job. And you serve it really hot. It's gonna smoke a bit, I think. Yep. Bit of onion. I think that's perfect. And just for garnish, a bit more brightness. This is one of the few occasions, along with gumbo, I suppose, where the scallion green and white can go in at the same time. So, scallion, and there you have it. Comfort food, hangover cure, something you can easily cook in half an hour. This is Kimchi Jjigae. I really hope you enjoy.